the future. They are the future. So we trust them, inshallah. So everybody, I'm hoping that everybody is enjoying the Ramadan. I don't know what you are doing, but I'm not doing much. Just being very tired, the long drives. But alhamdulillah, good experience. I'm happy that I'm back. Alhamdulillah. So we will carry on our weekly discussions. So lots of experience everybody has. And I have also a lot of experience, and I listen to my old friends and relatives and read something. Although we studied this eighth principle, we went over it a little bit, the eighth principle in reading the Quran, or how we should understand the speech of God when we read the Quran, which kind of attitude we should have. It's a very essential matter. It's not an easy matter to read the Quran, and especially our attitude towards the Quran, what we should expect from the Quran. And of course, we are not going to start today the nature of the Quran, what the Quran is. We studied that. And also we went through various principles, not the eighth principle we studied last time when we had the discussion, the class here. But I felt that I have to emphasize the importance of it, because most of the people, not only ordinary people, the common people, very serious people, very serious philosophers, very famous people, also are having trouble with this matter, how we should understand religion, how we should understand belief in God, and how we should understand the universe. I understand that there are two main problems. I refer to these problems from time to time, but now I feel that we have to emphasize on it more every day. One of them is the scientists take the existence for granted, and philosophers say that the universe has no meaning. Alaykum salam. So the universe has no meaning. They don't reject religion straight away. We have to understand this. Not many philosophers reject religion straight away, whatever they are, whatever the methodology or model of thinking they follow is not important. The materialist philosophy bases its argument on the meaninglessness of existence. The universe is meaningless. Don't expect them to be irreligious, speak against religion. But once one person says that this universe has no meaning, then the result, the outcome of this thinking, this understanding, has to deny religion, has to deny God. And some people also say, which I don't like mentioning the names, some philosophers, thinkers also say that human beings made up God. You must have heard of it. Why? Because they think that, they take it for granted that the universe has no meaning, We have to understand that. But the universe has no meaning. Not only that, the universe has no purpose. Please, you are intelligent people. We have to understand this. Not only that universe has no purpose, it has no meaning to start with, let alone the purpose. Why? Universe is a lump of matter, happen to be as it is. When you reject without any base, without any rational wisdom, when you reject the meaning in the existence, you cannot believe in any religion, anything, any God or the prophetic message, anything. The problem starts from meaninglessness of existence. So we have to come back, because the importance of this subject is when we start speaking about religion, we don't base our argument on the meaning of existence of the universe. We say that we believe in God, and of course they say, look, these people are making up the idea of God by themselves. And these people making up the idea of religion. And some people say something spiritually maybe meaningful and consistent, and they claim that, okay, this person is the prophet. The source of the problem is the meaning in existence of the universe, in existence of the matter itself. Meaning. So those people who don't accept religion base their argument on the meaninglessness of the universe. But unfortunately, those people who believe in religion, in God, don't base his or her argument on the meaning of the universe. Refer to the religious sources. Refer to his or her tradition, religious tradition. But religion means believe in the meaning in the existence of the universe. This universe has meaning. It means it is purposefully, meaningfully created. So never argue anything to do with religion without referring to the universe. If any of you, if studies this kind of things and reads the ideas of the people, serious people, thinking people, you will understand how important it is. So if you say the universe has no meaning, then you are bound to say that the concept of God is a made-up story. Why? Where did you get the idea of God from? If you say, but we are Muslims, we refer to the Quran. Where did you get the idea of the sacredness of the Quran or speech of God? The Quran is the speech of God. You have to establish the concept of God first. In order to establish the concept of God, you have to look at the universe, his work. Please, please, I feel not only with one or two people, with many people, I see that this point is missing in the minds of the believers in general, not necessarily on the Muslims. People don't base their argument on the very reality that we are experiencing in this world. Look at, I see the people around me. Look at, I see the earth around here in this world, the atmosphere, the clouds or whatever, the trees and the birds and animals and or other creatures, and their existence is meaningful because there is no accidental happening in the world. Nothing is accidental in the world. If something is not accidental, must be purposeful. If something is purposeful, must be meaningful. And this is the result of a conscious choice. That's why I say, we must say that definitely there is a creator. there must be a conscious will behind the existence of this universe. Conscious will behind the existence of this universe. So you shall never attempt to understand the true nature of Creator. Why? Very simple. Because it is not within my capacity and it is not my responsibility to understand the nature of the Creator, because Creator is not of the kind and nature of this universe at all. How can I understand the nature of it? Even the nature of the universe itself is difficult to understand, but we know that there is something meaningful going on here. Something purposefully is going on here. So there must be a conscious will behind the existence of this universe. That is my conclusion, and I don't speculate about him. Don't speculate about him. God's power is enormous. He can do everything. How do you know? Don't speak about God like that. Just speak that, look, I can see the universe. It is wonderful. So the Creator's power must be infinite. Otherwise, he cannot create this universe. He wouldn't be able to create this universe. Don't speculate about it. Believe in the Creator is the result of your observation of the universe. Belief is not based on assumption. Belief is not based on how do you say, just saying that I believe in God. They call it faith. No, that's my observation, tells me, forces me, necessitates that I have to say there is a deliberate Creator behind the actions that I observe in this universe. So never speak from God's perspective. Never speculate about God. Never say anything about God without any evidence showing that in the universe. The Creator of me. Now they don't. Now another problem is this. How do I know that God has such and such qualities? How do I know that? From the action he performs here. I can see. For example, can I say that I can see, so my Creator must have the capacity or quality to see. Well, but I don't know how it is, none of my business. If he doesn't know how, if he didn't have the capacity to see, how he can make me a person who can see? So from me, I understand. For example, I can think. I am a rational being. So I do sometimes wise things. I do sometimes unwise things. Most of the time, unwise things. So, but I know that I have done something unwise. I know that. I'm aware of it. So the one who gave me this capacity must be the source of wisdom. No, look, must be the source of wisdom. That's my conclusion. That is belief. So let's read the second sentence. It is always about being sure of his existence through signs. Especially don't speak to your children or don't speak to your friends saying God is such, God is such, God is such. How are we going to speak? The one who made me able to hear must have the quality to hear. Must have the quality to hear. Be careful with the phrase. Must have the quality to hear. That's my conclusion. How? None of my business. Even I don't know how I hear, but I hear. I understand when you speak. I don't know how. Even I know it is created. It is there. It is demonstrated. Who gave existence to the capacity to hear, to understand, to see, to taste, to consider, to worry, to be happy? It means my source has all these qualities. Never speak to your children, I hear that God did this, God did that. No, we say we have to speak to them, not only to the children, but also to our friends. The one, I see that this tree grows in a perfect manner, right? For a perfect purpose. So it is a purposeful existence. So the one who created the tree must do everything with a purpose. That's how I know. But my evidence is, I am speaking about God, but what is my evidence? Whatever I see here. Whatever I see here. If someone neglects the universe, I don't know how this person would believe in the creator of the universe. It's very simple, but unfortunately, it is not common. It's very simple. Everybody should know it. But I say that I believe in the creator of this universe. Okay. But I don't pay attention to the universe. Is it possible? Possible? I believe in God, but I don't pay attention to the universe, or I don't look at the signs in the creation. It's not possible. Speak always with the signs through the signs. Signs that we observe in the universe. So belief is not based on blind faith. Belief is based on real observation. Real observation. Unfortunately, the believers don't argue or don't base their argument on what they have observed. So it seems to be just a blind faith, just a blind faith. It sounds like it, and rightly they argue that religion is just a made-up story. This is just a mythology. They say. Why? Because we speak about religion, in defense of religion, in a mythological way. We make religion sound mythology. Dogma, that is how we believe. We say, if someone says, why do you say this? No, in our religion, we believe so. Look, in our religion, we believe blah, blah, which means it is dogma for me. Right? It is dogma for me. We have no right to turn the truth into dogma. We have to wake up. Inshallah. So any questions for the number 8? Really, it is very important. I spoke many people of God. They have the same problem. They all say they speak very religious language. They sound very religious, but turn religion into a dogma and mythology and make the people who are suspicious, skeptical about religion, deny it. So it is our responsibility. We are the people who make them, if you like, atheists. To me, I feel guilty. We make them atheists because when we defend religion, it doesn't make sense. And right, they deny. They say, oh, it doesn't make sense. Okay. But if you establish your belief on observation and your human conclusion, not as a Muslim, never say as a Muslim, say as a human being. I am a human being. I look at the world, I look at myself, I look at the things, objects around me. That is my conclusion. Don't say, as a Muslim, we do this. As Muslims, we believe in that. These languages are very dangerous. Very dangerous. Why? Because these kind of languages undermine the legitimacy and logical consistency of belief in the Creator, in God. Any question?
I still have a hard time about, okay, so you're saying that we should not try to understand the true nature of the Creator because it's beyond our comprehension, and we should try to understand Him through the signs that manifest themselves in the creation. And one of those signs you were saying as an example was, I'm created with the ability to see. And so the Creator must have some, he must be able to see. I don't know the nature of that vision, but there is some ability to see or to hear. Where do you draw the line? Because there are qualities in me that for sure are not in the Creator.
Sorry, we are?
There are qualities that are in me,
yeah,
that are for sure not in the Creator. Like I have qualities like I'm
not necessarily. Don't speak about the Creator.
Well, you
don't
just use that as,
yeah, I understand, but you understand. You are right. You say that here is my hand. I am sure it is made by a conscious being. So God is the one. When I say God, the creator of my hand is God. Don't speculate about God. The creator of my eye power or the power of sight is what God is. That's what I said. It is created. Don't speak about God directly. Speak about the signs you see and refer to the source of the signs. That's it. We usually give labels to God and start speaking from God's perspective. That is the mistake I've seen in many, many books and people.
I think I understand what you're saying, and I think I get your question too. Thinking of, okay, so God gave me sight.
Mm-hmm.
He must know how to see. Probably sees even better than I do, but I don't know that.
Oh, but He's the creator of my eyesight.
He created. That's all I need to know.
He is the creator of my eyesight.
So there are things about me. I haven't murdered anybody, but some people have murdered other people. I haven't stolen from my mother, but some people steal from their mother. I have lied to my parents when I was young.
Creation.
So then I'm thinking, well, then must God have the capacity, the understanding, the possibility of lying, cheating, if
the creation.
he understands.
Understand. The
Right.
creation. We have to look at the things. The creation of those things cannot happen by themselves. They are created. The God is the one who is the creator of these things. Not when I lie, it means God lies as well. You know that when we lie, we use our free will and misuse it. But the creation of the event, my belief in God must be based on my observation of the creation. That's the principle I'm trying to establish here. So without the signs, never speak about God. That was the point. Without the signs, never speak about God. For example, I have been given free will. Yeah, the one who created this free will is God. That's what I say. Because this free will needs to be created. Do you get it? This free will needs to be created. I cannot attribute my free will. I cannot attribute my emotions. I cannot attribute the design of my body. I cannot attribute the whatever you see, all the qualities in my existence to particles themselves. So particles are not the source of meaning. Particles are not the source of meaning, but what is coming out of the particles or what is created with the particles are all meaningful. So these meanings refer to their creator. So they cannot happen by themselves. Existence cannot happen by itself. So the source of existence is God. So don't say, I believe in God. Say, this universe must have a source of existence because it exists. It cannot exist by itself. So God, when I say God is the one who gave existence to this universe, because I cannot explain the existence of this universe by itself. It's very simple. That was the point. Of course, we understand we misuse, we can misuse. It doesn't mean that I'm telling a lie. So God tells like no, I'm misusing my free will. The
So I don't have
existence
to
of free
guess
will.
that he's capable. I don't need to guess really anything. I can just know that
Yeah.
I can't imagine. So I don't need to guess that he's made the same mistakes I've made. Or
Don't
think-
speculate about God.
Exactly. Just I don't know.
Don't speculate about God, but look or question the source of existence of any quality you see in this world. But be careful with the existence. Source of existence of any quality we see in this universe, including existence. Existence is a quality. People, if they have a bad intention, really, if they don't want to understand the truth, what they do, they close the doors to belief in God. How? They say, at the beginning I said, the universe exists by itself. You see? That is the source of the disease. This is the source of the mistake. The universe it exists by itself. It's the source of the mistake. We have to question, can anything exist by itself? Doesn't make sense. So we refer to a source of existence, to cause of existence, and this cause of existence is happening. That there must be a source of existence. For every quality we can ask. That of course, in human choices, is different. We can live better. Because I like to I may misuse things, but that's my will. But this freedom is created by him. And the freedom is given to me by him. By the one who created me. I didn't get it. No one can get it. Or can claim that he is God, one of our, some of her, or is question. What is the Quran? Or what is the speech of God? Very briefly, the verbal expression of the meaning of the universe, existence. Verbal expression of the meaning of the universe. Very simple. Do you get it? Verbal expression of what we see in the universe. From the verbal expression, we understand the meaning. That is what the speech of God is all about. It's not an extra. It's not an extra thing. Because if there was any extra information, but this is we have to be very careful. Everybody either listen seriously or don't listen at all. So if there is anything extra to what we see in this world, if there is anything extra in the speech of the Creator, it would leave me without any evidence, and I wouldn't be able to confirm it. But of course, I drew your attention, and please pay attention to this, but there are some informations about the word of ghaib. It means unseen. These are the implications, these are the signs that I can confirm the existence of the word of unseen through the signs that I see in this universe. Do we understand? For example, I can see that the way the universe is coming into existence demonstrates that the one who brings the universe into existence is infinite, must be infinite. That is the word of unseen. The Creator must be infinite. So the way the things are coming into existence demonstrates that the one who brought this universe into existence must have an infinite knowledge. So the one who created this universe as it is, and he created me as I am, I need an eternal life, eternal existence, and this feeling is the witness that an eternal existence must be. So since I have the sense, and lots of people are arguing about this, we shouldn't cheat ourselves. Why? Because we want eternal happiness, and it is just a wishful thinking. Look at I don't want to give the great names of these great philosophers. Those who study and read, they will know it. Because we want eternal happiness, yeah. So, but there is no eternal happiness. Everything dies. So it is just a wishful thinking. So human beings made up the story of eternal life. They never questioned the existence of the eternal happiness, desire for the eternal happiness. Where or how did this desire for eternal happiness come into existence in human beings? Where did you get this idea? This idea, this feeling, this hope, this wish, this expectation is a phenomenon which exists. What is the source of existence of this phenomenon? The great philosophers don't ask this question. As if I am the creator of my emotions. I don't know. I am made as I am. I asked the child, did you make your legs? He said, no. Did you make your emotions? He may not. He may not be. He's too young, my friend. So, did you make your emotions? No. Did you love the feelings that you have? Excuse me. Did you create the feelings that you have? No, it's given to you. They exist. They never question, how come that they exist? Can I attribute the existence of these emotions to my particles of my cells? They created them. They gave them existence. So we understand that we are given 2 legs, 2 arms, and an expectation of eternal happiness. Exactly. Whoever gave me or made me with 2 legs is the one who created me with the desire for eternal happiness. Right? So that is why I understand that there must be an eternal happiness. There must be an eternal life. There must be, because of the witness that I'm experiencing within my own self. Not because I heard from somebody from Saudi Arabia, not because it's with me. So if the creator of me speaks to me, he speaks to me under the witnessing of my own life experience. So the creator's knowledge is, we understand from the universe, that must be absolute, infinite. So when he speaks to me in a way that I will understand the meaning ingrained in the existence of the whole universe. That's why, as I cannot really get to the end of the knowledge of the creator, in this creator of this universe, I cannot get the meaning of the speech of the creator in his speech to me. So since he has created me with the ability to speak, since he has created me with the ability to understand, he has created me with this potentiality. So definitely he must speak to me. If the speaker is the creator of the universe, and this speech must be infinite as well. So the meaning of the speech of the creator cannot be reduced to certain category only. Cannot be. So you will read the speech of your creator, you will understand the speech of the creator within your capacity, and no one can say that I got the end and that's it. There's no more. As we cannot get the end of the physical world, as we cannot get the end of the wisdom in the existence of the physical world, as we cannot get the wisdom in the existence of the physical world, we cannot, by definition, get the end of the content of the meaning in the speech of the creator. It is open. As many as there are people, everybody will get something. But it is not arbitrary. We know that. You know, even if you study a book, let's say a book concerning law. Yeah. Although the book says, I am in English, yeah, it's written in English. If you have not studied and educated and trained in law, can you understand? I don't. When I read this one, I said, why don't you tell me with the plain language? I am a layman. I don't understand. But it doesn't mean that it is not understandable. So the speech in the form of the Quran of God is Arabic. But it doesn't mean that if you know Arabic, you will understand it. As a book written in medicine, a medical book, for example, written in English. But If you are not expert, you cannot understand it. But it is understandable, yes. But you have to study. There are rules of course, people take medical studies pre-med for 4 years and another 4 years, and medical studies 8 years, and it is enough. It's not enough for specialization. They study another 4 years. They do internship, whatever. So that in 10s or maybe 20 years they study, and then they understand the book properly. Now, it means it needs expertise. We understand that, but it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that when we address to the speech of the Creator, we can exhaust it. It means that's it. That's the meaning and finish. The Creator must be infinite. His speech must be infinite, and his knowledge must be infinite, and the meaning of his speech is infinite. In the Quran itself, and the Quran says, if you want to not count that God's words are endless. God's words are endless. Yeah, you remember the verse? Yeah, fi kalimatillah. If you bring 7 seas and as ink, but you cannot exhaust God's words. It means in the creation you cannot really get the end of God's wisdom, and in his speech also you cannot get the end of its meaning. So what we should do, we should be comfortable. We shouldn't reduce the Quran. This is the only meaning, and this is the ultimate meaning. No, we should be open. But we should also know that if I am not expert on it, if I have not studied it, although it may be in Arabic in language, but I have to study. That's how human beings are created. If we study, we develop. If we don't study, we don't understand. If you never study medical studies, you will never understand. Although English language may be your native language, you will never understand what this book is talking about. That's quite normal. But if you study, you can. As much as you can, as far as the Quran's meaning is concerned. So we understand that you shall never claim to have exhausted the interpretations of an absolute book. It means absolute speech of God. People have been trying to understand the Quran since it was revealed. How many interpretations have been written on the Quran so far, do you think? Any guess? Thousands, yeah. So when there was a book in 1980s, I saw this a compilation of the names of the interpretations, commentaries on the Quran only. So that thick book. There 15,000 commentaries have been recorded by human beings, and still people have to, because my Creator is speaking to me according to my conditions. I will understand another aspect of it, because the speech of God never finishes, as I think this is very important, as the act of God never ends. Yeah, as long as the universe is being continuously created in a new form, and the new meaning comes, and the speech of God also will transfer these new meanings to me, and I will make sense of it alongside when I read the speech of God alongside with the act of God. So everybody will experience the word and refer to the meaning in the Quran. So extract the meaning from it according to his experience with the act of God. Because can you imagine that? Very simple. In the lab, there is a demonstration. and what do you do in the lab? Experiment. While you are doing the experiment, the instructor does something and at the same time explains. That's a very simple example. So as the universe continues to be recreated, continuously renewed, the explanation of the meaning of the universe continuously will reveal itself anew. Do you get the meaning? What I mean? That's what it means. There is always room for improvement, and everyone trained in this can chip in. I think that we can move to the 10th. Okay. I would like to read the 10th. No? No one? No, you wouldn't? No. Yeah. Okay. 10.
What number?
10.
You will never inherit your faith from your ancestors. You
What?
need to acquire it individually by using all your faculties, including your reasoning and heart.
Yeah. Shall we not inherit our faith from our ancestors? Are we going to deny what we heard from our ancestors? Neither deny nor blindly follow. You have to have, everybody has to have his own conclusion. Everybody has to have his own conviction. Everybody. You cannot inherit belief. You cannot inherit faith. You cannot imitate anybody. You cannot imitate anything. Be careful. We have to be careful. Human beings do not imitate. We confirm. For example, we have to think that we can make an analogy here. The Quran is the speech of a teacher who teaches us what the meaning of this creation is. Teacher. What do? You can read the Quran as a teacher is speaking to you. Can you imitate the teacher? What do you do? Somebody. What do you do when you go to the class? Do you imitate the teacher or what do you do?
Try to make sense of what they're,
Sorry.
try to make sense of what they're saying.
What the teacher is speaking to you and it's teaching you. You listen to it. Right? But as the Quran says, some people may remember that there is a verse in the Quran says, when the Quran is read, listen to it carefully. But it doesn't mean that when I listen to it, I will imitate it. But I will listen to the teacher carefully and try to make sense of it within my own being. Right? Try to make sense of it within my own being. If I can confirm it, I will confirm it. If I cannot confirm it, what shall I do? So raise your hand and ask the teacher, what do you mean? Can you please explain? Yeah, can you please explain? What we think usually in the traditional way of understanding religion, we think that when verse is recited to us, we have to blindly follow it. That is good faith. We think it is not faith, it is not belief, it is nothing but laziness. Like a teacher tells me something, and without understanding, without confirming, without being able to analyze it and really being satisfied with what he said or what he taught me, if I say, it must be so because my teacher taught me, even this guy wouldn't accept it. How old are you?
8.
8. He would say, no, I didn't understand what teacher taught me today in class. Mommy can explain me, or well, usually mommy, not my fathers are busy, are working. So, mommy, can you explain me? I didn't understand anything. But the mommy can say, didn't teacher tell you this? He said, yeah, that's it. It must be so. That's what our attitude towards religious sources is. I'm sorry. To our religious sources, it must be so. That's what it is said. But I don't understand. No. This is the revelation. This is this God's speech. You have to accept it. That sounds so religious, pious, devotedness. It is not religious. It is not pious, piety. It is not devotedness. It is stupidity. Is it too harsh? What do you think?
Yes, it is.
It is harsh?
Yes.
It is harsh, yeah? It's stupidity. It's not human. It's not human. What you have to do, you have to listen. Listen carefully. وَإِذَا قُرِئَ الْقُرْآنُ فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ. Yeah, when the Quran is recited, listen to it carefully. فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ means listen to it carefully. Pay attention to it. But it doesn't mean that imitate it. No, listen to your teacher carefully. And then try to make sense of it. Try to understand it. If you don't understand, go home and ask your mom if she ever understands it. Can your mom answer your questions? Sometimes. You see, young generation wouldn't swallow this kind of thing. So they would say, I don't know. Even, So investigate it. But how are we going to investigate it? Very simple. How are we going to investigate it? This is the speech of what? The one who created the universe. This is the speech of the one who is instructing me in the lab of the universe. So try to make sense of it. But if you don't know, ask the expertise. But never imitate. Don't be lazy. You know, you study 20-something years in order to become an engineer, and then, slavery at the end. So, but when it comes to religion, we are very pious. When it comes to engineering profession, we are very active. Why do you think? Do you think there's something wrong going on?
Yes.
Yeah. So you see, yeah. When it comes to profession, you study, you understand, you get ready for the exams, you sit for the exams and pass the exams and get your degree, and then prepare yourself for interviews for days and months. I know somebody is doing that. No, for the interviews, prepare yourself. When it comes to religion, accept as you hear. Here, this is what I heard. Okay.
What about the questions that can't be answered? Even the experts can't answer it. It's just that's the way that it is. There was no explanation that came with this ruling or whatnot.
Okay.
What about that?
You were here. I don't notice somebody came late or early, but were you here that we said the Quran by definition is the speech of the creator of the universe and you. Yeah. If the one who speaks to me is my creator and tells me that I cannot understand at all something, do you think that this one who's speaking to me is a wise one? A teacher goes to the class and speaks to the people about something that they can never understand. Now, we have to accept and admit that we don't take religion seriously. Let's be brave. We are lazy when it comes to religion. We are very active when it comes to other work or professions or doing something in this world. We investigate everything. If something is wrong with your car, what do? You take it to the expert. And can you imagine a car is made that no one can solve any problem with it? No, you have to investigate. But superficial reading. For example, take a medical textbook in your hand. And when you read it, I don't understand. But I have never studied anything to do with medicine at all. So I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me when I read a chemistry book, for example. I don't know, there are some links between the, chart, something. It means a magical thing for me. But I know it is within the capacity of human beings that we understand it. We must work. We must study. We must spend time on. But just a superficial reading, especially reading from the Arabic, just the language-wise, or reading from the translation from just the language-wise, literal reading, and saying that it doesn't make sense, I don't understand, and then, or we have to accept it. What we have to do, we have to say, is we have to admit, this is the point I don't understand, and I must investigate. I must go and ask the experts. If the experts say, no, you don't know, you don't understand, that's God's wisdom, so we have to submit, it means it's not an expert. Then it means he doesn't know either. So look for the expert. Because by definition, your creator never speaks to you about something that you cannot understand. But of course, potentialities are different from abilities. For example, if someone speaks to you in Russia, do you know Russian language? No. Okay. Do you understand? When he's speaking to you Russian, do you understand? No. It means you have to imitate him or what? If you want to understand the speech made in Russian language, what are you expected to do? Now you can learn Russian language. You have to study. Because we think that the purpose of our existence is to work for the people in Manhattan to make money. Yeah, we think that. Work for them. But we don't think that we are here to get to know who my creator is. Why is it, what is going on in this universe, and what is the meaning of the existence of this universe, and what is the wisdom in its existence? Even we don't think about our own existence. We don't really question our own abilities. How come that they happen? So for example, if you really know yourself, you are the perfect man. Just know yourself. You will understand what God is telling you in the Quran. But we don't even spend time. We don't spend time on our own being to get to know who we are, ourselves, not other people. Yourself. What am I doing here? What is the meaning of my existence here? What are the meanings of all my human qualities? Why do I have this feeling, this hope, this fear, this anxiety? Why are they there? You can ask. You can ask yourself, how many times, on how many occasions we have asked these questions to ourselves, about ourselves. We take our existence for granted. That's the disease. I call it laziness. Laziness. Cheap way of treating our own human qualities. Very cheap. Somebody wanted to say something, okay?
On a much deeper level, for myself, I keep asking myself, am I preconditioned to think in a certain way? I am born in a certain system, as many million others were. So many thoughts were put into my head, positive and negative, mostly trash. And I don't think I can get to be sure that I'm not biased in making a decision in something in belief or in a practice. I don't think I can ever make sure I'm not biased because this is me, I'm human, I'm not a clean page, I'm full of things on it. So how can we get on that?
Questioning. We cannot be perfect. Or again, can you learn Russian in one day? No. What do you do? First, you learn the alphabet, and then the words, and then the sentence structure, and then the meaning, relationship, grammar, blah, blah. It takes years, yeah? Just learning one language. So about deciphering your own reality, whether you are really just following your own biases, or do you really make sense of it by questioning? If someone doesn't question, cannot get the answer. If someone says, I have inherited the answer, it means what? It means it is not the answer. Because if you ask the question, you get the answer. If someone instructs you, repeat it. You don't confirm it. So if someone doesn't question his own existence, his or her own existence, doesn't get the answer. So everything we have to question. There is no end to the questions. We know that human capacity has no limit. Can you say that I have exhausted the questions? Whoever asks the question gets the answer. But it takes time and there is no end. We know that human quality is not limited, human capacity is not limited. So the development, the improvement in our humanity has no limit. So we have to keep asking questions and getting the satisfactory answer. If I am satisfied with it, I will confirm it. Even in the confirmation, there is no limit. For example, when you study mathematics, you say that you have done something, but is it the end of it? No, it's never the end of anything. Any science, any discipline can claim that I have reached the end. It's impossible. Nowhere for us to reach the end of the universe. No way for us to reach the end of the physical existence of the universe. And time-wise also, people say 13.87 million. That's a calculation from the lights they receive, or beams they receive from the galaxies. It's a calculation. No one can get the end, neither in the beginning nor at the end. So we are in a huge opportunity that the universe is a complete, if you like, witness, sign to its creator that it is absolute. So you cannot exhaust yourself, you cannot exhaust the universe, you cannot exhaust the qualities of the creator, you cannot exhaust the meaning of the qualities of the creator. So we have to continuously try to question and get the answer. As we get the answer, we will feel some sort of satisfaction, but it will never end. No one can know at which stage this person is. I don't know whether I can explain it to you or not. Oh, there are some people here too. I know. So your questions come from my turn there. So if you ask questions, I will turn to you. So, you know, the line which has arrows on both sides, what does it mean? Infinite. Infinite at the beginning, infinite at the end. It means there is no end, there's no beginning. If you spot one point on it, can you say where it is? You understand? You said no. No, you cannot say where it is. Is it close to the end? It is close to the beginning, endless. So recognition of the creator, human capacity to understand, to confirm the creator is infinite. No one can say that my belief is complete or close to completion. No one can say it. Because human capacity has no end. Human spirit capacity has no end. I feel that somebody wanted to ask a question over there. Am I wrong? I think you want it. Okay. Speak loudly. So somebody
How do you ensure
transfer.
how do you ensure that the questions you ask is not tainted by your nets?
What do you mean by your net? Of course, but whatever it is, you ask the question. Yeah, you have to get the answer. What we do usually, when you don't know the answer, we think that it is from your ego. So it is, you shouldn't ask this question. Every question is human. Every question is human. Every human question must be answered. We shouldn't run away from it. Of course, if you don't know, you have to be brave enough to say that I don't know. I have not learned it. So if you have not studied any science, for example, a discipline, if you read a book, you may not understand it, but you have to study. So there is no wrong question. For example, you understand that this is illogical, logically inconsistent, but it's not a wrong question. You say, the answer is, this is a logically inconsistent question. But it doesn't mean that you cannot answer. You say, the answer is, this is logically inconsistent. But human beings can understand that it is logically inconsistent. That is the answer. Those people who study mathematics, they know that this equation doesn't work. It means the equation is wrong. And human beings know that this equation is wrong. Like that. So don't worry, ask the question, but be sincere in searching for the answer to the question. And we have to do that. We have to be free. Inshallah. So ask the question and seek for the answer. But what is frustrating for us? When you don't get the answer, you say, oh, no, I shouldn't ask this question because there is no answer for it. Yeah, there is no answer for it for you. It means you have to study. You have to investigate. You have to make a research about it. You cannot really say that, no, I shouldn't ask this question because there is no answer. So accept it as it is. It is not acceptance. It is imitation. Imitation is not belief. Can you say? Imitation is, belief is confirmation. Imitation, can imitation be confirmation? That's illogical. Okay. we don't have much time. Huh? People. Now, what do you think we should do? You need to acquire it individually by using all your faculties, including your reason and heart. What all your human faculties. We have to use our human faculties all together. Whatever you are. But inshallah, it is what we are talking here, what we have been talking here, the principles. In practical life, we may not be able to do any of it. We may not be successful in any of it, but in principle, we should know that that is possible. Well, all questions are answerable. We should know that, and the Quran and the speech of God must be understood by every human being, as the universe must be understood by every human being. But how much we can do depends on your capacity. Not the capacity really. Depends on how much you study about it. So we have to work on it. The only thing that, inshallah, I will say lastly, we cannot imitate religion. Religion is not to be imitated. Imitation is not confirmation. Belief is confirmation. We have to confirm it and work for it. That's what we are here for in the world. Unfortunately, of course, Ramadan is a good opportunity. I appreciate that. Inshallah, everybody is aware of it. But we shouldn't reduce religious activity or religion to Ramadan. Only during Ramadan. And also, you are human beings. You are intelligent beings. You have emotions. You have a huge capacity. Use this intelligence, use this capacity to understand what religion is all about. Please don't reduce religion to imitation. That is the last message. Don't reduce religion to imitation. You have to use your human capacities, inshallah. Any further questions before they come? Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that earlier you brought up that we put so much attention into our career.
Yeah.
Maybe it would serve to put just as much of attention or more into our consciousness, rather than just focusing on a career, to what's going on inside of us. Like the lady said, well, I question whether or not my questions come from my ego. You know, if we then we see, as we say here, where we're coming from inside. If you say, you know, when somebody's leery of somebody, say, I know where you're coming from. You're getting ready to try to trick me. So where are we coming from within ourselves? And sometimes people ask the questions and they want an answer as though that definitive answer, they're looking for a definitive answer, but to realize the infinity of it all and that it's expansive. We're not going to get an answer that's going to be the key to everything, is that it's ongoing.
Ongoing and endless.
Yeah.
Endless. Human capacity is endless, and the universe is endless as far as our capacity is concerned. Yeah, endless. We cannot get to the end. It means endless, means in this sense, not absolute, but we cannot get to the end. And the manifestation of the qualities of the Creator in the universe is endless. My perception of these manifestations has no limit. I have to use it. And not we are not created to get a career, and of course, after certain years, the people question this. People, you know that especially postmodernist philosophers severely question the meaning of existence. We all know that, don't we? That what am I going to do here? Why? For what? I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. For what? At the end, they ask this question. I will do this, and today will pass. I will do another thing, and another day will pass as well. It will pass. Everybody is aware that this universe is ephemeral. Life is transient. Everybody knows this. So they question in their huge, very powerful books and very famous books. They question what is the ultimate purpose in living in this world. They say there is no purpose. Since we are going to die and perish away, why bother? That is the existentialist approach to the universe, postmodern existentialism. We are all the children of this philosophy. The meaningless. And on my recent trip, I experienced people asking this kind of thing. They say, what should we be bother? Since I'm going to die and rot away, why bother? So we have to make our life meaningful by questioning. So you have to say, of course, what they are missing, we have maybe not many people didn't come to distribute dates, so we can take a few minutes more. We have to make this opportunity, use this opportunity for ourselves that, look, why do I live in this world? You know, why? Ask this question. Of course, it is very disappointing. It is discouraging because I'm going to do this and this and this. I'm going to get married. It's good, and the children good. They will grow, and then like coming to my age, that then even the grandchildren have grown. And what's happening? I'm going to get retired and comfortable life. Is it true? Or cheating myself? After you get retired, you will have a comfortable life. Yeah. And you will be advised, you better rent an apartment next to a hospital. Because your life after you get retired will be wasted mostly by visiting the hospital. And then no one talks about it. What will happen? You will die. So the life itself, if you don't really use the meaning of life, is meaningless. Meaningless. So we have to make it meaningful by questioning it. So don't imitate. That we are Muslims and we believe that there will be a hereafter, but every moment of our life is spent on career. But of course we have to do something, but at the same time, we have to spend some time in order to understand the meaning of our life. Thank you very much. It is time to stop. Inshallah, next Wednesday we will start the story of Abraham, the prophetic examples. Yeah, inshallah. Thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alim al-hakim. Wa aqulu da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.